Good morning. In the tradition of Reagan and Bush, we understand that the Department of Justice is not the president's personal law firm. It is the people's shield. However, the current trajectory under Attorney General Pam Bondi suggests a departure from this essential American precept. To preserve our constitutional order, conservatives must recognize that a Department of Justice governed by personal loyalty rather than the rule of law is a threat to the very stability we claim to value. Action Plan. 5 points for conservative consideration. The erosion of the presumption of regularity. The credibility of the DOJ rests on the presumption of regularity, the idea that prosecutors act in good faith based on evidence, not edicts. Under the current leadership, we have seen high-profile investigations into political figures, ranging from former FBI officials to state-level attorneys general, that appear retaliatory. When the DOJ becomes a tool for settling scores, it loses the ability to command respect in the courtroom and among the citizenry. We must demand a return to objective, evidence-based prosecution. The exodus of institutional memory. A department is only as strong as its career professionals. Reports indicating that nearly 75% of career attorneys in the Civil Rights Division have departed, alongside the sidelining of veteran prosecutors, represent a catastrophic loss of institutional memory. Replacing experienced, nonpartisan civil servants with political loyalists transforms a cabinet department into a political wing. Conservatives who value institutional continuity should be the first to decry this purge of expertise. The abandonment of core statutory missions. The redirection of resources away from public integrity and white-collar crime, specifically the gutting of the Public Integrity Section and the suspension of Foreign Corrupt Practices Act enforcement, creates a vacuum of accountability. By narrowing the focus almost exclusively to immigration and cartel activity at the expense of government corruption, the department risks signaling that ethical lapses in high places will no longer be scrutinized. A conservative vision of law and order must include the boardroom and the halls of power, not just the border. The degradation of professional decorum. Attorney General Bondi's recent conduct before the Congressional Oversight Committees, characterized by personal insults and a refusal to answer substantive questions, undermines the dignity of the office. For those of us who value the morally serious tradition of public service, seeing a U.S. Attorney General engage in gutter rhetoric during testimony is a source of profound professional embarrassment. It signals a lack of respect for the co-equal branch of government that is tasked with holding the executive accountable. The collapse of constitutional independence. The most dangerous development is the explicit shift toward a unitary model, where Attorney General Bondi serves as a direct instrument of the president's personal defense. The Department of Justice exists to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, a mandate that frequently requires saying no to the chief executive. By framing DOJ attorneys as the president's lawyers rather than the nation's lawyers, this administration is dismantling the post-Watergate guardrails that prevent executive tyranny. If the law is merely what the president says it is, we no longer have a republic, we have a cult of personality. Conclusion. Institutional stability is the bedrock of a free society. When we allow the Department of Justice to be hollowed out and weaponized, even if it is done by our side, we set a precedent that will eventually be used against us. For the sake of the Constitution and the integrity of our faith in the American system, we must insist on an independent Department of Justice that answers to the law, not the man.